I've been asked to do the stewardship talk today. So I began to think about why does Journey Church need our support, and why do we need her support? What is God building here in our hearts and in Folsom? Who are we? And many things, of course, came to mind. I have a very busy mind. That's one of the reasons I practice centering prayer, to try to quiet it down. You can see the obvious reasons we need your support. The buildings are needing repairs, and we also need to pay for the staff and the facilities and the lights and the heating, of course. That's the obvious stuff. Stewardship to me means things that God has given to us to care for. What are we the stewards of, like land or a farm or each other? Our hearts. You know, one of the things that this small church has given to me is, you better step up, because there's not a lot of people who can do things. So take on the challenges, take on the responsibilities that God has given you. And one thing He's blessed me with is a commitment to the centering prayer group on Wednesday night. And what I've discovered, with lots of encouragement from Julie Vallada, who's sitting back there in the back row, is that if you stick to it, you can actually quiet your mind down and begin to experience the presence of God inside your mind and your heart. And as you get quieter and quieter, what it actually feels like is being held in the arms of your Father and just loved and listened to, and all your concerns poured out until you can fall asleep and get that deep kind of sleep that heals and renews and nurtures. That's what it feels like. And I never would have experienced that if I hadn't made that commitment to that Wednesday night group from 7 to 8 and started doing extra reading to try to prepare for it. So this church and the facility here has given me the opportunity to do that. And then, in a larger venue, we are the only PCUSA church in the area, I believe. And we're committed to supporting outreach to everyone, all different types of people. LGBT, other cultures, other races, other communities. To love where no one else can or will. And the way I understand that and how it works is we go within. We challenge the prejudices in our own heart. We challenge the limitations in our own mind. And we begin to become willing to have God work on our hearts and make us malleable and open. To love people that we just wouldn't naturally love otherwise. Even our enemies. I don't believe it's possible to love our enemies without God's help. And for that reason alone, I'd like to ask you to give so that we can afford a full-time pastor and continue to maintain the facilities outside of us and the facilities inside of us. You know, Carl Jung once said, if you want to see, look into your heart. If you look outwards, you see the dream. If you look within, you awaken. We're awakening to God's purpose and calling here in Folsom. Thanks for being here and supporting us. That's all.